Good evening and welcome to my end of the week recap video here for the S&P 500 and plan ahead for next week, which is starting to get into the meat of earnings season. I'm building this position in the 9 November 280 calls here. Averaging a few times. I've got my average down to 383 now. The price I believe is hovering around somewhere between 3 and 340 a contract. So not too far away, still have plenty of time. Just looking to make it through, like I said, the meat of this earnings season for some catalysts to push this up higher. Still holding December 313s, which are virtually worthless, and those June 325s. So those are positions I'm in for the S&P 500 right now. I'm not really going to go over adding too much more of a plan to it other than what I'm looking at how to manage this position. So let me go ahead and slide this out a little bit actually. So it goes into next week, and I can keep in mind where that volume is or where it came in. I'm going to keep these blocks on here because there's still a tremendous amount of interest here at these levels. You can see on the daily time frame volume is still high. We're still at the 200 SMA, not able to push it above or below. So nobody's really winning right now. Had a series of inside days. Looked like a dead cat bounce, short squeeze, whatever you want to call it right here. And then complete reversal, come back down through the 200 SMA, pick up volume at lows again, and today was another inside day, which for Friday, it's kind of to be expected after a big move. So this huge move is being digested and probably going to take some more time to find out what direction it actually goes into. If it takes too long, I will have to adjust this position in those 9 November 280s and probably roll those out for a week or a week or two. Just zooming out here to show the last time we had chop and consolidation here at the 200 SMA. The initial touch from that point on, it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days to officially start to leave it, and even then it came back to retest it. So price action still holding at it, which is positive for me, being a bull. Doesn't look like we're breaking away from it below, so I'm really not too scared. It's frustrating to see price action chop back and forth this much, but it is what it is. I'm just going to sit here and manage my position accordingly for moves higher. Now target one up here is this 21 EMA. I'll look to take some off up there and hold a few to go up here to the 50 SMA. No real pattern setting up here on the daily time frame. It was kind of a bear flag. And now it's just turning into, it's still kind of a bear flag. It's a triangle going sideways, just a indication of indecision, consolidation. Could break either way. Apex is going to be about there, so it's going to break one way or the other as price action is being compressed in between these levels. Zoom out here on this big chart here so I can show a few things that's going on onto the monthly time frame. Everybody knows we've had a big, huge red month here so far, about a week and a half to go in the end of the month. And we've had big, huge red months in the past, aside from 2007, 2008. Big red months usually set in at a base. So again, ignoring the massive sell-off years as far as the dot-com bubble of 2000 and financial crisis in 2007, 2008, the only other times we've had it were here in August of 2011. The low of that month put in a base, and then here August again of 2015 put in a base. It did retest eventually, but those are the only serious examples that are even close. And you have this one in 97, 98, which again put in a base and ripped up higher over the next couple of months. So price action still, as you zoom out, in an overall uptrend. There may be some concern in the financial markets, there may be some concerns worldwide, trade wars and such. Price action is still in an uptrend. Even if it does dip down further, it'd have to break 250 to even imply that we're turning into a quote-unquote bear market, because that would put in a lower high, or excuse me, a lower low. We'd still have this higher high up here, so for that to happen, it would need to come down here, break this, come up, put in a lower high, and then continue down. That defines a downtrend and a bear market. So again, aside from the crisis years, we've virtually never seen a bear market. So one more thing that I've been looking at here, this is price action per year. Aside from, again, the financial crisis years and the dot-com bubble, we've had consolidation years. here in 2011, 2015, and we're now putting in what looks like an indecision year. If we come down to these lows, which all the bears are saying we're going to do, this would essentially end up putting in a reversal year and looking something like, excuse me for 1 second, and it would end up looking something like this, the big red wick up here. Could potentially happen. I doubt it's going to, but it is a possibility. So I'm aware of that. I'm being a little cautious, but I'm still going to trade this from the long side. Still seeing this as retesting a prior base on a very high time frame, the monthly time frame right here. Undo some of that. This weekly base right here, excuse me, monthly base right here was the prior technical buy. All the volume is coming in at that region. So just like any other technical breakout, when price action retests that level, I expect to see volume there. Very similar to what's going on right now, almost identical, pretty much textbook if you wanted to write a book on something like this, as far as when volume comes in and where it comes in at in relation to what previous price action had done. So right now we put in inside week. Confirmation for me of this volume being bullish is going to be a break above this 281.35-ish, 281.22, excuse me. 281.15 was the high of this week. So a break above there will confirm this inside bar as being resolved to the high side. A break below, again, we could come down and test prior yearly lows here around 250, 252. So it is possible, but I'm going to continue to trade it from the long side. And as I zoom in here a little bit closer to the daily time frame, again, not a whole lot going on other than a significant amount of volume at the low after a sell-off. So still at the 200 SMA, and as I said in our last couple of videos, tremendous amount of volume after a pullback or after a sell-off at a 200 SMA, retesting a very important level on a very high time frame. You decide what it is for you. For me, that is bullish. I'll always look at that as bullish, and I'll continue to trade it as such. This will be my trade plan for next week. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. Have a good weekend and good luck.